Welcome back to UCLA Football TV, hosted by West 739. Family, it's a lot of UCLA content out there right now, so we got a lot to cover. This next interview is with Scott Taylor. It's strange because I was curious about Scott Taylor. I kept hearing his name and I didn't know who the guy was. I did my homework and now we're going to actually get an opportunity to hear him talk. You guys know the routine. Smash that like button on your way in. It really helps push this UCLA content. I'm not going to hold you guys. Let's jump right in.
Good, how are you guys?
Good, how's your spring going?
Good. Yeah, it's been great.
Look like you put on some muscle.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Tell us
So
about that.
I played last year at like 233, and I'm up to almost like 245 now.
Wow.
So yeah.
Tell us about the process, and is that where you want to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's been all good weight. I got faster, so I can't complain. And then I was just a young guy last year, so that weight came naturally.
Coach Growski helped you with that as well?
Yeah, he's been
What's
great.
it been like to work with?
Yeah, it's been great. A lot of like, not a lot of conditioning stuff, more mechanical stuff when we're running, and then a lot of strength training, which obviously helps with the weight building.
Right off the back, you can see that this guy is young. And in addition to that, if he's putting on weight right now, it's natural weight. He has a lot more room to put on a lot more weight, especially at the position that he's going to be playing.
So with the knowledge that you're going to be more in kind of that edge position than as a true linebacker?
Yeah, playing that hybrid where I'm going from the edge to linebacker, doing both.
I think that's what it was. He was a linebacker last year. That's why I don't recall hearing much about him. He's going to be playing a lot more defensive end this coming season.
It's advantageous if I'm a little heavier. And then, like I said, it wasn't really a hard process to gain all that weight because it just came naturally. So
How fun is that position, that hybrid position?
It's
We're
the
watching
best.
you. You're everywhere, man. I think you're going to line up like a safety sometimes.
I mean, if that's where they put me, I'd be happy to play there. But it's been great. I like being versatile. It's one of the things I think I'm great at. And, I really pride myself on being able to do multiple things. So I know they see that. And then, being able to line up off the edge, pass rush, and heavier sets come off from behind the ball, that really plays to my skill set.
Can you talk about the responsibilities that comes with playing down on the line and then back at linebacker?
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm lucky because I have a linebacker background, so a lot of the stuff behind the ball I'm more familiar with. So this spring, it's been a lot of like footwork on the edge, pass rush stuff, with then like additional meetings to understand my responsibilities off the ball. But I told them at the beginning of the spring that I wanted to be a guy they can trust to do multiple things, and I pride myself on being able to do both of those roles.
This is going to be a good situation for us. If he's penciled in as the starter, he's going to be playing opposite Zahir West. He used to play linebacker before. If he's going to be a defensive end who can play linebacker, that means that he's going to be able to stick tight ends and possibly stay with some of these running backs that's coming out of the backfield.
You're such an effective leader. We hear your name pop up so much.
Yeah.
As a leader, you're only a second-year guy. Why are you so effective doing it?
I mean, I want to be humble, so I wouldn't call myself a leader, but I think I lead by my actions. I'm a guy who loves being here, obviously. That's why I came back. But, I just love doing what we do every day. So I think people feed off my energy because I just have so much fun doing what we do out here.
What was Chesney's pitch to you? And, you could have gone elsewhere, but you decided to stay. With the first conversations, what were those like with him and Hitchler?
Yeah, it was all great. A couple phone calls from both of them, and I knew I was staying before I even met them in person. But on the phone, they just talked about my role on the team, how they see the program going, things like that. And I mean, you guys have met Ches, just greatest energy in the whole world. So
Would you have stayed regardless of who was hired?
no. But
What made you decide that you were staying?
what I'm doing in the defense, I love my fit in this scheme. And then Coach Chesney, obviously, is just one of the greatest leaders I've been able to be coached by. So I love his energy and I love playing for him.
You're often lined up against Zahir West on the edge. What's it like having that physicality across from you? I mean, Maxwell Roy and Amir Washington are a couple other guys. A lot of size up in that front seven.
Yeah, obviously it's the Big Ten. You got to be able to stop the run with some size. Otherwise, you're not getting very far on defense. But
See, this is what I'm always talking about. To all those haters that keep talking about, Wes, you keep talking about the Big Ten, you keep talking about the Big Ten. I'm trying to explain this to you guys. This is a different type of build. These players are huge. They're fast, they're quick, they're big, they're strong. UCLA has to come up a level. The Pac-12 was not that. We're in a different environment, we're in a different conference, and we're ready for it. Bob Chesney got these kids ready to play.
Been great. We normally play on either sides of each other unless it's third down packages, but getting to know him, we're starting to bond and get better at our pick games, and that relationship's definitely growing. So it's been great to meet him and all the other transfers as well.
Who wouldn't want to play opposite Zahir West? I mean, you know that guy's going to get the most attention. In addition to that, I don't even know who's going to play defensive tackle, but at the same time, that's a position that's normally rotated in. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see about 4 or 5 defensive tackles a game. But being on the opposite end of Zahir West, that right there alone will get you in the NFL.
What's it like to play for Coach Hitchler? What is he like as a coach?
Super high intensity. You know, he's never going to take a play off. He's always going to tell you when you're wrong, and I can really appreciate that. You know, there's no sugarcoating with him, but at the same time, that makes it very obvious what you need to improve on. And then at the same time, he gives you your flowers when you do, like when you show that improvement. So
When you say
when you say Coach Chesney is one of the best leaders you've been coached by,
Yeah.
what does that look like? Like, what stands out about him?
just his energy, every meeting, every practice. There's nothing too small for him is the other thing. So he came in here, the first thing he talked about was we're not going to win games unless we have a clean locker room and a clean weight room. So everyone, we're going to have a competition on whose locker is the cleanest and whose rack is the cleanest in the weight room. So stuff like that, starting at square one and then just building its way up. But he really has a great attention to detail. And then just like me, I can relate to him because he loves what we're doing out here as well. So
see what I'm talking about? You guys are locked in. If you're following the channel, you already know nothing is going to get by Coach Chesney. The detail that he's bringing, it's pretty much because he's been a head coach for the last 20 years. Did we get the right guy to lead our program? You already know the answer to that question.
well, he's having fun, which makes me smile. So
Does it feel like you guys are having more fun than you've had before with the team?
yeah, I mean, I feed off competition. So that's another thing we talked about when I decided to come back here. He just builds this program off competition. So everything is scored. Every rep in the weight room, every rep on the field, every time you need to clean your locker, every test in the winter to know the scheme, everything is scored and everything is measured. And that, like being able to track everything, it's just a lot of clarity and it helps you know where you stand and there's no like, you're not confused on where you land. It's great to have that clarity.
Talking about details, what was he upset about at the end of practice?
Today?
Yeah.
Chesney, just got a little chippy out there. It was a red zone day, so real physical. I don't think he was too upset about that because that's normally a good thing, but we teeter over the edge sometimes. We just had to bring it back, and then that was all.
What do you make of all the special teams emphasis out here? It seems like you guys are working on that a ton. Is that different than what you're used to, and what's that?
The fact that special team is an emphasis and they're working on it consistently, I'm sure other coaches did that in the past, but the way he's breaking it down and having these guys focus on special team so much, that's going to give us an advantage because it looks like we're going to have a lot of starters playing special team. Let's keep our eyes open for that.
Different in terms of the scheduling of it. Last year it was a lot of first period, do some special teams, then practice, and then end with some special teams. Normally here it's like do some special teams, go back to team, throw in a random punt or two, go to team, end with special teams. So it's a lot more incorporated into our practice, which kind of resembles a game. So like randomly throw the punt team in after the offense stalls out and stuff like that, just having us all prepared, but it makes it more real life game rep type feel. So yeah.
What's it been like playing with guys like Sammy, guys like Drew? You kind of knew the system. What have you seen from them on the field and kind of in the locker room as well? Yeah,
great guys. We have a really great core on the defense, and more so than just my teammates, they're starting to become like really good friends. Sammy and Drew, and obviously the guys who are still here I'm really close with. But it's nice to learn from Drew because he's been with Coach Hitch and Chesney for a couple years now. So learning some things from the scheme because he's already familiar with it, and then going back to the winter, being able to pick up on the scheme and like learn the scheme with some other new guys, that was a real bonding experience.
It seems like the JMU guys are definitely having a huge impact as far as bringing over Coach Hissler's scheme. The fact that they played with Bob Chesney last year, it puts us in a position to where we can actually win 9 games.
The offensive tackles are making your life difficult.
You know, they rotate so much.
And the reason why I keep saying 9 games is because that's what I'm predicting. It's a lot of us out there that'll be comfortable with the bowl game. First year Bob Chesney, okay, I'll be comfortable with the bowl game as well. But I do feel like this team is capable of winning 9 games.
Like I get reps against everybody, Mac, JD, Hall, and blanking, but Jordan Davis. Those are really the 4 that I see the most, but they're all doing a great job and they've gotten a lot better since the start of spring.
You talked about the competition, everything being scored and graded.
Yeah.
How is that kind of communicated? Are there boards anywhere, or do the coaches sit down and like announce where people are, or how do you guys know about like how you're doing in those?
Yeah, I mean a bunch of different ways. In the locker room, in the weight room, highest like vertical jumps of the week will be posted and ranked from highest to least high. And then every rep in practice is graded, so that'll just be sent to me from coaches over the phone. And then team meeting before practice, we'll get fastest speeds from our catapult. So just top 3 guys from skill positions, top 3 guys from the big guys. So
what's it?
To be able to handle delivering information at this type of level, you have to have a lot of coaches. Not only coaches, you have to have a lot of support staff as well. UCLA is building this the right way.
To get that, is that ever anxiety provoking, or are you usually confident when those things land on your phone?
No, I mean it's nice because I guess at the beginning it could be anxiety provoking for some people, but when you just breed competition into your everyday life, then it becomes something you look forward to, not like fear or stress about. So it's nice to like live with that competition every day.
Is there one where you're coming out on top sometimes, some of those competitions?
I'm pretty balanced. I like to be up there on a lot of different things, so I don't have one I could pinpoint.
Some of the guys have said that you are one of the stronger, if not the strongest guys in the weight room. Would you say that's the case?
That could be the case. I mean, I'm not as big as some of our O-linemen who squatted some insane numbers this winter, but I definitely got a lot stronger from last year to this year, which helped getting bigger as well. Yeah.
All right, so I must admit, I feel a lot more comfortable with Scott Taylor. Just listening to the kid talk, it gives me a good sign of he's disciplined, he's youthful, he has a lot of room to grow. If he's the starting defensive end, this could be a big deal for us. If we can keep him in that starting position for the next 3 years, that's how you're going to build a championship team. And when I say a championship team, I mean a team that's fighting for the Big Ten championship sooner than later. The best way to support the channel is to watch the next video. That's going to keep pushing this UCLA content. UCLA Football TV hosted by West 739. Forza.